Guys, this is Anupam. I'm back again. Today I'm going to talk about high volume data replication from SAP. It's a topic which one of the CIOs he came up and said, we can be extracting data from SAP onto cloud or to on-premise, but when it becomes high volume, what are the considerations to be kept in mind for that kind of provisioning, right? And to be honest, this is slightly technical. We won't be doing any coding, but there are technical parameters of SAP system which we probably want to at least assess, if not change, right? Let me go ahead and share the context. So this is what we are talking about today. High volume data provisioning from SAP, and then there's a few things which are worth assessing before we dive in. What is the data volume and its complexity? There's T tables which probably have hundreds of records. Then there's transactional tables which may go from thousands, couple of thousands to millions. Some of them even have billions. And similarly, there are log tables. The second thing which should be assessed is when we are doing, especially in production, maybe even in QA, accessing large volume, it will have an impact on the rest of the system performance, right? So just bear that in mind. Maybe check the network batch schedule and see, there's no other live processes, or if there are batch processes, how you can squeeze in your own task within that schedule. And then obviously, with SAP like a database, which is, around 1 million different tables, how would you maintain the data integrity and consistency? Now, extracting high volume of data, usually, you might be doing some of the master data like vendor master, customer master, material master. There should be some consideration for the information security and audit trail of who extracted, when they extracted, and all that logging of access, as well as there's some system parameters. It's not a comprehensive list, but you will want to factor in, that you don't run into the max runtime issue. This is something which you may have to tweak as a parameter. And what is the maximum role extension for the ABAP heap? So those are two parameters you might want to check in your system before you go ahead. So that's roughly the assessment you will do. There might be more parameters based on your system. All right, what to do? You should plan and schedule when you are going to do this extraction. As much as possible, avoid custom code. There are SAP recommended tools. There are certified tools, on the SAP Solutions directory. Consider those, because some of these high performance, high volume data provisioning needs some careful considerations. The third one, I think that's very important, is incremental extraction. You probably want to, extract once en masse, and then incrementally extract it, or either on a time series or a document number series, or even on some of the parameters that I will extract in one go, everything for company 1000 and later on for company 2000, right? The fourth one is the data filtering. You might want to put in the parameters, like the company code or plant, etc. And also, some of the SAP tables, they may have hundreds of columns. You may not want all of those for your purposes. Think about that carefully so that you only extract what you need. And then be ready to monitor the usage and re-optimize based on system parameters and what's needed. All right, what to avoid? Avoid full extracts as much as possible. I know some of the times they may be needed, but if you can avoid full extracts and slice your data in chunks, that will be helpful. Do not ignore system performance impacts. You don't want your shipping or order taking to go down because someone ran a batch. This should be controlled. There would be data quality issues in terms of a lot of this data needs to be joined with other data sets, and this is something which you may have to extract multiple tables to even make sense of one single.
And then we talked about the information security aspects. If you are going especially to the table level, then is the person authorized, or the user who's running it, is he authorized to run this? And do not skip testing. This is something which is needed both for volume testing as well as some stress testing. All right. Now with ECC and S4, there are some changes, especially S4HANA. It runs on in-memory computing. There's much more compute power. I have seen loads which used to take hours to run now are running in minutes, even some of them in seconds. So should use some of that. There's simplification that some of the tables which were earlier there have been, are not in use in S4HANA. So whatever you have done for extraction, that might be worth checking once. Obviously, it's much better with the semantic models, but if you're extracting from tables, then you need to do that check. And then there is new tools like CDC. It's a very interesting CDS views. I'm sorry, not CDC. CDS views provides a way of extracting information from S4HANA, and you should make use of it as much as possible. And obviously, there's provisioning for real-time data. All right. So those are the main parameters which you should consider. Obviously, this is not a comprehensive list. You should check with your system administrator as well as the specific client parameters which are needed. All right, with this, let's jump in.